Going into this game, and I really do, turning time, that first one, you get that first one under your belt is really important, especially when you've had a little extra time off. So unfortunately, we didn't do well in our conference tournament. So going into this game, you could just see the determination in the prep work today at our shoot around, and and before the game. And that focus was definitely there. And I thought we came out right away with a bang. And they've got a very talented basketball team. And McCaffrey is somebody who we saw tonight is really difficult to stop. He got some shots off there. Too much dribble penetration, some shots off there. But then in the second half, I thought we put the clamps down. And I've got to give a lot of credit to not just Xavier Humphrey, who was guarding him, but also those that were helping out. And you saw that with Caleb Paulkert on the help on the ball screens. You saw Clayton out there, and then the other guys that were help side. We were able to get a couple tips and steals. TC with one going to the other end. But so overall, obviously, the defense is what wins. There's no question about it. And you can miss some shots here and there, but you got to be able, that next possession, you got to be able to go and stop your opponents. And that's what I felt like we did. The one disappointment in the game is that I've tried to preach about how important it is to rebound, and Vette having one is just pathetic.
I can't believe
Did you just have one?
I don't know. I don't remember. I thought I had more than one, but apparently not.
Questions for coach and players?
That's like an all-time roll.
Even Bradley for that one, but yeah, you talk about defense. Defense wins,
Yep.
but shooting 70% in the first half doesn't help either. Or doesn't
Oh, yeah.
matter.
I know. Well, offense puts your picture in the paper, so everybody's always trying to do well at that end. We know that. Sure so don't put him on D, or in the paper.
But your
Yeah.
shot selection, you're confident. It seemed like your offense was very deliberate and very confident in all the shots. You took good shots and obviously made a lot of them.
Yeah, they're perimeter players. They've got a, I think, real strong defensive squad, and they were really putting some pressure on our perimeter players, and that's where I thought we were getting some good dribble penetration. But it was some great patience. Sometimes we get to that 15-second mark, and then all of a sudden we rush it, and my God, 15 seconds can seem like a lifetime. And we hit quite a few that were in the 4 to 10 second range, and just having that patience, and it takes its toll on the defense. So you get a guy running off 2 or 3 screens, like in Grant Johnson or Xavier and Xander as well, and it takes its toll on their defense as well. So I think patience, yes, taking great shots, and wearing them down.
That's your best first half of the year. 51-point half, holding them to 29.
I don't know. You're at all the games.
Oh,
I don't know. Is it? There's some games where I don't know.
How about Mr. TC next year there? One of his better games, 25 career high. One of his better games all around.
Boy, that's it is a quiet 25. I think, a big thing about that is we ended up, up on top isolating him to be able to take the ball to the basket. But again, when the clock was going down, he does a great job of taking it to the hole. And, he beats people with that first step, and it's nice to have a guard that's at 6'5", running the show up there and having those capabilities. So, he stepped up to the plate, and he's a good three-point shooter. I tease him about it, but he likes to pass first, and he's got a great shot from the perimeter, so he's able to knock those down. They're taking away from trying to take it away from Grant and Xavier.
How about TC, in terms of, Coach is always telling you shoot more, and you're like to pass first. But this one of those games where you saw some openings, saw some things that you could take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't want to force anything, and I had some open looks in the first half, and I was fortunate enough to knock them down. And coming off the screens late in the shot clock, fortunate enough to get to the left, and I could get to my left hand, and I finished. But like I said, I didn't want to force anything, and just found some openings.
Clayton, how about that one rebound?
No,
It was a tough rebound. It was a tough rebound.
Funny thing is, I can't even remember it.
Did you guys talk, you're up a lot at the half, but obviously with McCaffrey and some other, showing some other guys that can score a lot, what was it said at the halftime? Just keep up the height, the intensity, tempo type of thing?
Yeah, I think definitely intensity. We got up there and we started off good, and McCaffrey was getting his points, but for the most part, we were shutting everybody else down. So once we finally figured out that we just shut him, didn't shut him down, but didn't let him go off for another 19. We thought we were pretty good, and halftime, we went in there and coach talked about moving the ball and just kind of being patient, but also being aggressive at the same time, taking what they give us. So.
Well, I know you can guard Jansen directly a lot of times. You guys had a lot of help, and he was pretty much a non-factor. Pretty happy with what you guys shut him down, and Schilling too. Didn't get much until late.
Yeah, Jansen's young, but he's good, and he hurt us the second time we played him over in Augie, but we switched Kellen off of him because they like to get up and do the ball screens. McCaffrey a little more with him, but I think Kellen did a great job on him, getting around him. He's quicker than him, and I think that kind of frustrated him. He didn't really know what to do. So.
Mike, you called a timeout early in the second half when they got it to, I think, 16. Was that sort of to remind your guys sort of, hey, this game isn't over yet? Because you got after them a little bit, like maybe you were kind of telling them, don't let them make a run now.
Absolutely. It was, well, first of all, we weren't, and something we really stressed is getting back on defense, and we gave them 2 layups at that other end, and that's just not acceptable at all. And, it is one of those things where, it's a 0-0 game going into that second half, and you got to play with that same intensity. I felt like coming out from halftime that was going to happen, but, credit Augie. They wanted to get themselves back in it, and, they really ran and ran hard. So that was a time in the game where we needed to settle down and go back to those. It all comes down to those fundamentals. Michelle D, know where you're supposed to be, talk to each other, make them take tough shots and rebound. And that's all we had to do was remind them. It may have looked like I just stressed it.
I saw you had a few words for Cam after the game. Were you telling him you were happy that he was graduating, I imagine?
No, he's really such an, and I don't know him that well, but he's really always been a class act. And he's brought, he's beat us with some buzzer beaters at their place, and that one's still haunting me, but, he is a class act, and he's brought a lot to our league. He really has. He's a dynamic player, and, it's tough. We've been in situations like that where our season ends, and, we got to remember, the integrity and the character and what these guys bring to the table. And sometimes we obviously we want to win, but there's some outstanding athletes and players and citizens that are in our league that do such a great job, and I just want to recognize that.
You guys, I know it's a tournament game and it's a different scenario, but it doesn't seem like you guys forgot what August when they took away the conference championship from you guys with that buzzer beating 3-pointer. Was that a motivation, a focus, or a little bit more to bring you guys all together?
I don't know. They're a little bit sad about it pregame, but we knew that we had to come out and bring intensity right from the get-go. Whether they stripped or whether they took the conference title from us or not. And I think we did a great job coming out, being patient, and we got good shots and we were hitting them in the first half. It's tough to shoot 70% both halves, and we were fortunate enough to knock them down in the first half.
Last question? All right. Thank you very much.